Vocalo Radio, Chicago's only urban alternative. Nudia in the afternoon here with you. And that was a band we actually have in the studio right now. Welcome, Drama. Hello.
Hello. Drama in the house.
Not the crowd. That's amazing.
I love you guys might have been dancing a little bit wherever you were listening to that song, but you were not going as hard as these two in the studio. Welcome, Via and Nayel. Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys?
The infamous duo that is Drama. I love watching you guys, like jam out to your own song. I was like, yes.
Dude, that's a jam.
You guys had the choreography and everything. I loved it.
Hope the fans feel the same.
Yeah.
Or listeners.
Right.
I think everyone does. I mean, how can you not dance to that beat? And I love that. I think, Via, you said a lot of people ask you if you listen to your music.
Yeah. They're like, do you listen to it? And I was like, dude, it's in my key and it's all about things that I've been to. Of course I listen to it. I sing along and dance.
I love that. And so I think the last time Vocalo caught up with you guys in person was at Lollapalooza. It was the first Lollapalooza right after the pandemic. It was crazy, a crazy time.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that Lala well? I think everyone was still scared.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy, actually. That was our first real show back after performing to a wall. I might have lost my mind on stage.
Live streaming. We're doing live streaming throughout the whole pandemic, which was great, obviously. But first festival back, I feel was
like a shock a little bit.
Yeah.
Was it a little shocking?
It was, I mean, because you transformed into playing in a studio, like in front of a camera all day. So it was very different.
Yeah.
But I was happy to be back. Not gonna lie.
No. Lost my mind on stage, definitely.
Yeah, I was like, let's do this.
Jumping around like a firecracker. It was great though.
Yeah, it's so nice to look back and be like, oh, that was a crazy time. You know, so to see but. Was it weird? Because, I mean, of course, you're excited to be at Lala.
Yeah.
But you're everyone's still
everybody was masked up.
Yeah, everyone was masking
it was
up,
a
right?
whole, it was like a whole procedure getting to Lollapalooza and all that. So, I mean, it was crazy. But I'm happy that it's, the pandemic's over now. So.
Yeah.
And you guys have more shows coming up, right?
Yeah.
Where could people see you? Where are you guys playing at?
Well, I mean, let's see. We just did a couple of little tours, but we're going to play at Chicago Salt Shed next month on the 20th.
Love the Salt Shed.
Yeah. It'd be a nice little homecoming, a official homecoming after, doing all the shows that we did this year.
Yeah.
From Coachella and going to Europe. And we played one of the biggest venues that we've played so far in New York at the Knockdown Center. So it's been a really great year, so we're just excited to bring it home.
I'm excited to play at the Salt Shed. We have Derrick Carter playing with us.
Ric Wilson.
We have Ric Wilson playing with us. We have
Terry Hunter,
Immaculate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
What
going to be...
What day is this? I'm in here. Lock this in my calendar.
January 20th at
is
the
that
Salt
Saturday?
Shed.
Was it
I think it's
Saturday
it's
or
Saturday night? Yeah.
Saturday
okay.
night.
Yeah. That sounds like something
Chicago,
we need
we
to
have
be at.
the new school, we have the old school. We're bridging this gap, and it's going to be an insane night. So...
Yeah.
I love that. And there's so much dance music.
Oh, yeah.
Terry Hunter, Ric Wilson, and you guys.
Yeah.
Everyone's...
And legendary Derrick Carter, too. So, I mean, it's going to be great.
I hope people come dressed to impress and ready to dance.
Stretchy pants.
Exactly.
Whatever you have, stretching it a little bit, you guys.
Yep, because we danced it all night, baby.
We'll pull out the splits like Rick, right? Just pull out the jump split in the air.
Dude, Rick is crazy. His footwork is that's Chicago, baby. Oh, man, he's great. I'd love to watch it.
And for you guys, it seems, you guys do sound like a festival act. And you guys do a lot of festivals. Do you have a preference to doing a festival show as opposed to something that's just you guys are more intimate?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the festival shows, we come in hot. Yeah. So everything is just banger after banger after banger. And then for the shows, it's a little bit more crafted. So you have your down tempo songs and slower songs and a little bit of a longer show. We do an hour and a half as a live post to a festival that you're doing 50 minutes. Yeah. You're doing 50 minutes or you're doing a 45-minute set. But either way, you're gonna get a great show.
Yeah.
Regardless.
I think we prefer like the nightclub drama. Drama
Yes.
really strives and shines in the dirty nightclub scene where the bass is just like smacking you in the face. You know,
Sticky floor.
Yeah,
Yes.
sticky
You
floors.
could feel it.
Yes.
You could
Yeah, the
feel
That's
it.
sweat.
exactly
I
what
mean,
drama is.
People cry. They
Sticky
cry in
floors
the
at the
kitchen,
nightclub.
but they're moving on the dance floor at the drama shows. Like, it's no joke.
And our live set is different than the records that you hear
Yeah.
on Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff. It's they are reproduced for a live set.
Yeah.
So everything's a little bit more up tempo. It's more
I was gonna say,
driven.
is it like remixed a little bit?
I wouldn't say
Are the
necessarily
tracks
remix.
or-
It's just like reworked.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
still has the original vibes, but it's a little bit faster and a little bit more produced for live. You know, because you have to produce things differently for live and for your album. So
Yeah, the last
If
thing you want to
artists
do
know
when you
that.
go to a show is just stand there and like stare at somebody
it
perform.
should never sound exactly like the album. It should
Yeah.
sound like a
Mhm.
They're
version.
trying to blow your mind.
Yeah, I'm trying to give you a different version.
I
of the
love that
album.
because as a performer, you're like, oh, it's a little spice, a little extra
Yeah.
spice
Exactly.
in it.
Definitely
Yeah,
a little bit and salt, pepper to it.
Yeah.
You know, which is important.
I love it,
This
and
is
it's
true.
and it seems like you guys get along so well as a duo. What we don't see a lot of duos in music, you know.
Really? There's a lot of duos.
Why do you think? I
It's
mean,
my dog.
My dog.
That's why we're
Hall
best
and Oates,
friends.
you ever
We're
heard
best
of Hall and
friends.
Oates?
like even like duos, like we don't really have a lot of duos even come through the studio here.
True. Well,
You know, like usually it's like one or
Drum and-
they jump to three.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
it's like,
true.
you know, what would you say is the secret to making your dynamic work?
Ooh, trust. And
Trust.
understanding and space and time. Understanding each other's like who we are as people, trying to elevate each other but not change each other. Like I feel like a lot of people come in hot and they just instantly are like, you do this and you do that. Da, 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 da. They just want to argue about everything the other person is doing wrong. And in our instance, it's kind of just like, how can we be there for each other to, you know, enhance the other person's
Yes.
art
It's
and
it's
craft.
definitely a partnership that has developed. As long as two people are willing to make it work, it
Yeah,
will work,
It will work. Yeah.
regardless.
It's
of what's
hard when
going
there's
on.
three because then there's a third voice and they're like having meetings without you or something like that. And it's like, wait, when did
You
you, guys
can't
go
hide
get coffee?
anything.
Yeah.
You can't hide anything, but there's only two of you.
Yeah, it's a friendship that has grown. It's a best friendship that has grown over the years. You know, and doing business with your best friend is
It's a blessing.
great. You know, it can be hard at times, but nothing great comes easy. So if it's great, it's got to be hard.
Yeah.
You know, along the way, and that's kind of how we've kind of conditioned ourselves. Is like no matter what it takes, we're gonna be down for each other and do what we need to do and keep our heads down and keep
And keep
producing and making music. And when the other person's lacking, the other person picks up the slack, and that's how we're able to make it 10-year plus in this business right now. So that's the story.
I love that because not only is the music industry an incredibly difficult industry to navigate.
It's one of the hardest
Man.
businesses it's very difficult to be in this business, but it's not impossible to succeed in this business. If you focus, you put your head down, and you focus on the product
Yeah.
and the music, everything else will follow. It's guaranteed. It's like 100%. You have to focus on your craft. It's whatever you do. You want to be the best radio host. You want to be whatever it may be. You just have to really focus on the plan, and everyone in the group needs to do their job. You know, like, hey, I'm in charge of this. I'm in charge of that. I'm in charge of the writing. I'm in charge of the touring. Whatever it may be. Just examples, obviously, but it's just having a team effort and being there for one another and building off of that. You know, and trust is the most important thing because
Absolutely.
people are crazy out here.
They are crazy.
So
I would not have done any of these things if it wasn't for this guy because I've seen it all. Like my parents are musicians. I've watched them tour. I've watched them go through a lot. And I was like, I'm just going to make music and not like put it out, or I'm just going to make it and give it to my friends. And this guy was like, no, you are going to be a superstar.
What a shame that would have been, honestly.
Yeah,
what a
absolutely.
shame that would have been.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's just hard, man. People are evil. Like they're, and I'm going to say everyone, but like in this business and just business in general is scary. Like you said, like finding people to trust that you can really trust, not just say that you trust. It's like,
Yeah.
I trust this guy with my life. Like if you told me that heaven was on the other side of that balcony, I'd be like, all right, dog, let's go.
I appreciate it.
Like,
Man.
you know what I mean?
It's just like when you go through a lot of things in business, just in general, it's just, you know, you go through things and you learn, and then you pivot, and then you get back up and you do it again. You know, I mean, I've been doing this for 15 plus years. I've been through the ringer. You know, I've been through worked with some of the best artists in the world who went on to win Grammys, and I've worked with some artists who are not as good, but you just have to be able to find that balance and make it work at the end of the day. But the most important thing out of all of this is to put your head down, humble yourself, and work as hard as you can, and work when you don't want to work anymore. Like, that should be the case. It's like you should always, like, when it's the hardest is when it counts the most. That's my opinion at the end of the day.
I love that. And like a lot of people listening, we're the only talented one out of the friend group, So it's like, I don't have anyone to make a band with. But tell me, what is it like to be on stage with not only someone you respect as an artist, but you guys are saying you have this best friendship?
We're home.
Like, what does it feel like?
It makes it a lot easier, honestly. My anxiety on stage is through the roof half the time, which is why some people are like, why do you have bubbles on stage? It's like, the bubbles started because I wasn't dancing. I didn't want to dance. I didn't know how to dance. So anytime there'd be a musical breakdown, I would bust out this little bubble blower and I would blow bubbles instead of dance. And then when it was time for me to sing again, I put my bubbles away and I would start singing. And now we have bubble guns and I'm dancing because I'm like a crazy person on stage. But like, looking over and knowing that he's there with me is just like, okay, we can do this, because I'm not, like, even if I do something, he can pick it up, or if something happens with me, he can, like, change the music, and we just, like, we just make it work, because, man, sometimes when there's, like, 15,000 people out there, it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I'm like, and everyone's just waiting for you to do something entertaining. I'm like,
Everyone's just staring at you, right? Everyone's just like,
everyone's just staring at you.
And that's kind of the reason why I, like, originally when I came up with the band was I wanted to make it a duo. I didn't want to add all the band members and all that stuff, and wanted to make it small and tight, and because it's just easier, less of a headache, of having like 5 players up on stage and stuff, and it's like one person show up because his girlfriend broke up with him or he's sad or whatever.
Doing coke in the bathroom. Like,
yeah.
Wait, what?
So what's happening here? But one thing about Via that I respect a lot is that she's willing to do whatever it takes to be in this business and whatever it takes to get to the final goal. And that is the trick. That is the secret ingredient to any of this, is that you're willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. And not many people say that they will, but are you really, really willing to,
Yeah, it takes a lot.
That's a separation between the greatest and not the greatest,
So what is, I feel like, one, you guys have a lot of fun stories.
Oh,
I feel like you guys have a lot of great stories.
I got a lot of fun stories for you guys.
I want to get to that in a minute. But what is the music process like?
In the studio?
You guys,
like
yeah.
making the music?
We get in the studio and we just start to come up with random things, honestly. Like, I'll play some keys, I'll lay some drums down, very minimal. Via does not like overproduce records. You got to give it to her as raw as possible, because one thing as a producer that not many producers understand is that you have to allow the vocal to sit in the track. It's an instrument, so you cannot give an artist a completely produced track and say, here you go ahead and write something to it. You have to allow them to insert themselves into the track, because they are the main instrument of the track. And so
I've never heard someone break it down like that before.
So that's kind of like how I do it with Via. Is that I never try to overproduce it. I just try to give her the bare minimum so she can go ahead and craft up her own ideas and her own melodies. So this way we can go back and forth and work on that. Because once she lays down her parts, I'm able to go back in the studio and add, bring in the musicians or bring in the string players or whatever it may be. But that's pretty much our process for the most part. Is that we get in the room, she paces for like 45 minutes around the room in a circle.
This is true.
Constantly just pacing around. She's like, hey, I think I got something. Let's go do this.
I need time to speak to the universe. If there's all these different instruments playing, I can't hear the words.
Yes.
Like, I don't hear it. And I'm like, oh, the beat's great. Let's just listen to the beat. It's done. The song is done.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And you said that you thought that maybe you'd be like someone's ghost singer or ghost writer, and you didn't want to be in the front round?
Man, honestly, my dream was to be a chef on tour with other musicians, and I thought that I really, honestly, like, not that it even matters, but like, I really thought that I was gonna go on tour with like Chance or Vic, like back in the day, because I used to cook in the studio for them, and all the guys, Joey and Tokyo and all those guys, and I just thought like, man, one of them is gonna make it big, and I'm gonna hit the road with them, and I'm be in the tour bus cooking it up, and then next thing I knew, Niall was like, nope. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna be in the
tour bus.
And I was like, you know what? That sounds like fun.
I was tired of making other people's dreams come true. I'm tired of her trying to help other people out. It was like, enough is enough. Focus all this hard work on yourself and watch where it takes you. And it's gonna be hard. The journey is going to be so hard.
Yeah.
But you get there eventually.
It's definitely been worth it, honestly. I think 3 days, not 3 weeks, or not 3. I was like 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 years into us forming Drama, we ended up opening a restaurant together in San Francisco, which like changed my life completely and opened my eyes to the fact that if you really want to do both, you can. Like, you can do both. It's just gonna be.
It's that Chicago mentality.
Even more.
I mean, people from Chicago can do anything. Literally, we are hustlers, man.
Yeah,
we will make it work. Give us.
And it's funny because now
two sticks and we'll make it work. Build you a house.
I'll build you a house.
Everyone you named is on tour, and you guys are on tour too.
Yeah.
But I love what you said. You're tired of making other people's dreams come true, because a lot of people just think, oh, I'm gonna hitch myself onto this wagon.
That's usually 99% of the people out there, and it's not a bad thing. It's just like you want to latch on to something that's doing well because you want to ride on that wave.
Yeah.
Like I was working with Chance the Rapper as well. I did some. I worked on Acid Rap. 80% of it, but that's his project. I had to help him do what he needed to do, and then I had to go find myself at the end of the day, and I could have latched on and went on tour with him and done all these crazy things, but that's not who I am as a person. And plus, like I wanted to find something for myself at the end of the day, and
it's a little bit different when it's not your name. You're still proud of the work,
of course.
You're like, this is still not like my name,
Yeah. It was different. I mean, it was different because it just, I think everyone deserves to kind of do what they need to do. Like if you have a dream, if you have a goal, like as a producer, I wanted just to produce other acts. And I was in the studio one day and this guy named Nicholas Jar, he's a producer, and he's like, how come you're not making your own music and putting it out? And I was just like, me as an artist, I don't know. But he's like, you already are an artist. Like you're producing records and you're helping other artists do really well. So why don't you just apply all the energy towards you and towards your artist? And I was like, man, this is great. So when I met Via, it just made all the sense in the world, And she was willing to allow me to do my job, was to be a producer, because artists like to jump in and produce a record.
Take
and it's
the
like,
hi-hat
bro.
down a little bit.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
like,
what do you know
nah,
about hi-hat? I don't know anything about hi-hats. And I'm like, yeah, take the bass down 2 dBs, and I don't even know what that means. I just let him. Yeah, he's great.
So it sounds like you guys just stay in your own lane.
Yes.
You guys each have your areas.
She's really
of
good at
expertise.
songwriting. She's very good at songwriting. So I just let her do, I throw in my input here and there and vice versa. But that's what makes a team, able to like help each other out. Like, you know what? I think you should use that word instead. Or why don't we move this over here? And it always works because we're all on the same page. The end goal is to do what?
Make a great song.
Make a great song. So I don't care where it's coming from.
You guys can solve world peace. I think the two of you, if you set out this model for like all of mankind, you could really solve world peace.
Honestly, I feel like that's one of the reasons why we do so well together and with the people that we meet and the people that are gravitated towards our music, is because there's just like this unwritten law in our universe that we've created for Drama, but it's just like everyone just be normal. Like everyone be cool, be kind to each other. Like when we come to the shows, we're like dancing for peace. Like we're reminding people to be nice to each other, people that are standing next to them. Like,
a lot of people are just too a lot of people I feel like they believe their own hype, and you cannot believe your own hype.
A lot of people, yes.
You ever heard that Public Enemy song? Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. No, I'm the only one in the room. Okay.
You guys are obviously get along really well and have this beautiful mentality and synchronization. Then why the name Drama? Because it doesn't sound like you guys have drama.
Everybody's got drama.
Everybody's got drama.
We all got drama.
Life is drama, man.
Is that
every day.
Why did what made you guys be like?
It's because we're not drama. We wanted to name it Drama.
Maybe.
It's like we just don't want the drama.
The name is the drama. That's
he came up with the name. I mean, like he said, I'm down for whatever. I didn't even care what the name was. I was like, as long as I'm making music with you, dog, I don't care what we call ourselves.
So you came up with Drama.
I came up with the name. Yeah, I came up with the name Drama. It just felt right, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's fun. It's a fun word to say.
Sense, yeah.
And it'll always be trending.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
easy to remember.
And the music, I feel like the stories behind a lot of the music entitle a lot of drama, just like love stories and different scenarios. I don't know, but you're right. Like we really try to stay away from it as much as possible.
No, I love it.
And I'm like, no drama.
And so let's talk about the music. You guys were telling me before we started the interview, Tighten It Up, the song that we just played before we started this. um, it wasn't supposed to be the first release.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know when it was gonna be. We were gonna do Feel the Same first. We got everything ready, and I can, like I said, I can remember the night that Niall was like, I think we need to change it. We're gonna tighten it up. And I dropped my head on the studio table like, oh my gosh. And I was like, what is
Something
gonna
I'm really good
happen?
at is I just switch the plan up like last second.
I was
I have like an
panicking.
epiphany, you know, I like wake up, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Something told me something, I should do something different with this. But
Yeah.
it was a scary record to put out because it was different than all the other drama records that we've put out in the past, but it made the most sense, I feel like. It
Yeah.
was different enough. And as an artist, you have to push those boundaries, you know?
Yeah.
One thing I was talking to my booking agent about, and he was just like, who cares? Even if they don't like it, you put another song out. And I was like, you know what? This guy's right.
Yeah.
Even if I put this song out and it doesn't do well, big deal. Keep it moving. But people liked it.
Dude, at the
It
end
did,
of the day,
it did really well.
it was the perfect song to drop at the beginning of the year, right before we played Coachella. I feel like it was a kick in everybody's face. Anybody who was doubting us over the pandemic or
Yeah.
thought, oh, I don't know about them. It was like, no, move out the way.
Yeah.
Like, we're here and we're about to play Coachella.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because like us being independent artists.
Yeah.
I feel like when you don't sign to that major label, have that backing or have that like co-sign from whomever,
Yeah.
you know, it's a lot harder that way. But we're still independent, and we plan on staying independent for a very, very long time. You know, I don't want to ever sign to a record label to ever change what we have going on. You know. Because I feel like our process works really well. To be able to, say one day, you know what, I'm not going to release this song. I'm going to release this song.
Yeah, that could
Labels
never
won't
happen.
let you do that.
I was
would
going to
never
say
let
they
you do
usually
that.
tell you what
They'll
song
tell you,
you're gonna
I think this is what we
release.
feel. No, man, you
Yeah.
can't tell us nothing,
They
man.
tell you everything. What song you should put out, who you should
Yeah.
work with.
And I don't think people know like the like constrictions that come with signing to a record label.
There
You know?
there are a lot of benefits, but there are a lot of downsides
Yes.
to it. But it just really depends on what you're looking for. You know, it
Yeah.
all depends on does it fit for what you want. Labels are not bad because you're signing that contract and they're giving you something in return.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like getting a record deal is the easiest part of it. It's keeping the record deal and keeping them investing into you, and then being able to stay motivated to put more records out. Like getting a record deal, guys, is the easiest thing in the world. I'll get anybody a record deal over, you know, but it's just like, does it fit for what you have going on, you know? And I felt like for a long time, it just didn't fit us, you know? But
They want so much.
But you have to
from
be very disciplined to be an independent artist. Like
Yeah.
someone like Chance the Rapper. I mean, very disciplined. I mean, you have to budget and you have to be able to organize things in a certain kind of way and make things move in a certain kind of way to make it work for you as if you do have a label, you know?
Yeah.
Because you have to act like a label.
Yeah.
So if you're disciplined, you can do it, in my opinion.
I love that. And again, we're solving world peace.
World peace,
We're
baby.
solving economic breakdowns. Like we're just
Hey.
solving so many things with this
The
interview.
drama
right here.
saves marriages. I don't care what anybody says.
This is-
We out here.
This is the interview we're gonna send to the aliens. So this is all you need to know about mankind. It's all right here in this interview with Drama and Vocalo Radio.
I like that.
If you're just tuning in again, we got Drama in the studio with us. Before we got into this interview, we played their song "Tighten It Up." We're going to end, and you guys are gonna tell us a little bit about "Feel the Same." And we're gonna play "Feel the Same," but I did want to hear. Maybe you guys could each share like one of the funnest, most memorable stories you guys have
Oh no.
about Drama. Like, was there a one show, one time that you're just like, you know what, this is like the memory, like the core Drama memory?
I mean, I can go first. Mine's easy, I feel like.
He's ready. He's okay. Let's go.
I don't
My
want to say the
memorable
one.
moment?
I don't want to say the one that popped in my head because it's the only one I can think of now.
My memorable moment was playing for opening for Coldplay last year.
Wow.
That was at
hold
Soldier
on.
Field.
Let me get one. I got the
everybody.
claps.
Thank you. But to like roll up to the stadium and
And
walk to your
Coldplay's
dressing
huge.
room and then walk to the stage,
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? I've never even been to a Bears game before. So like to be able to like stand.
Oh,
Like,
you've
I'm
never
a-
even been in the
I've
stadium.
never been in the stadium before. So when I walked in, I was like, this is it's crazy, and it was so humbling, and it was just so inspiring. It just felt really good. You know, it made me realize that like, yeah, we are opening, but it's like I'm like 1 inch closer to being there. and
yeah,
just,
no, like very few people will be able to say that they opened up for Coldplay.
I don't know anybody who's even played Soldier Field, so I'm just gonna
so
put that out there.
and being from Chicago, just rolling up from my house, from the west side, just
Right.
rolling up to my house and just riding
Yeah,
into
you
the
literally
stadium.
just drove to
I
the
literally just
stadium.
drove
That's
my
wild.
truck. I
That's
drove my
literally
truck
wild.
to there, and it was amazing because my mom came. She saw me play. My brothers were there, my family was there, and it was like, my girl was there, and it was like, wow, like all this hard work, 10 years just with drama, and then like 20 years me doing it on my own, but like just working hard towards this moment really felt so good, and like I tell everybody, it's like, if I can do it, man, anybody could do this, it's not really impossible. You just have to really focus on your craft, but that was my moment.
Yeah.
So I don't know about yours.
How are you gonna follow that
was
one up?
great. That was great. I'm not gonna say the original one because I don't feel like that's a good representation of who we are. But it just had something to do with me accidentally locking everybody out and still asking for French fries at the end of the night. But that's for another time.
Love French fries.
But I would say the biggest moment, man, even though I don't really feel like it was mine because I didn't know what Coachella was until I met him, playing Coachella this year was massive because we had been talking about that since we started the group, because Niall had a vision before he even met me when he went to Coachella, and he was like, I'm going to be up there one day. I'm going to play that stage. And when we started, that was always kind of like, that was like a mile marker for us. We're like, we're doing all this, we're getting here, we're getting the show ready. Like, Via's becoming a better performer, Niall's becoming a better performer. Like, we're doing all this so that we can eventually get to the point where we will get offered a slot at Coachella. And we always thought it would be the year after, or the next year, or this year. And when it finally happened and we got there, it was like, we can do anything. That's what it felt like being at Coachella.
Yeah.
It felt like if we both focus on something, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It's going to happen. Like, somehow, some way, and we just trust that and let it go. And that was a huge moment.
And it goes back to like what I was saying earlier, is that like it all goes back to focusing on the product and focusing on the goal and putting your head down and really chipping away at it.
I mean, it's like, it's the biggest form of manifestation, I feel like, and that's how how anything gets done, is if enough people focus and dream on one particular thing, it's gonna happen.
I feel like if you don't cry about your dream, it's never gonna happen.
If you don't cry,
if you
don't
if you're not crying
if you're
about
not
this,
like, man, what do I gotta do to make this work? Like, and just like really be frustrated and like cry. Like, literally, I would spend nights crying. Like, how's this gonna work? And then you just can't stop.
Yeah.
So, what's better in your opinion, Lollapalooza or Coachella?
Oh, come on, you can't do that. It's a Chicago radio station.
We're live in Chicago.
It's so different. It's so different. But honestly, Lollapalooza. I mean, one of the first Lollapaloozas that I went to, I saw Daft Punk, I saw Kanye play, and those were moments where it was like, I can do that. I can figure something out. I know I can do something like this, and it's just, I feel like everybody at those festivals, there's so many people in the crowd who are inspiring artists, and they push through, and I'm not the only story out there, and Via's not the only story out there, obviously, but you just got to work hard and just make it work. But I personally feel like Lollapalooza was very, very, very special, being that we were from Chicago.
Yeah,
I love rolling up to all the shows, just driving to the show. It's nice instead of being on a tour bus or whatever it may be.
I mean, I'm as a festival baby, I've been to a lot of festivals in my life. The layout at Lollapalooza is way better. Like, I love Coachella, it's great, but it's also like being inside the internet for the most part, and it's a little overwhelming. Everything's really far away. It's a lot, but Lollapalooza feels like home. Like, I went this year with some of my friends, and it was the first time going
as a fan,
to a big
right?
festival.
Yeah, cool.
Just like a regular person, and like not performing or not being rushed to go anywhere. And I was like, this is a great festival. I got to see Red Hot Chili Peppers. I had a good time. Yeah.
I love that. And so where could people catch up with you guys? Like, again, January 20th is when the show's going down.
Salt Shed, baby.
I've just bought my stretchy pants. They're coming. They're on the way. Salt
Instagram,
Shed.
The Drama Duo now. On
Yeah,
Instagram,
on Instagram,
website, thedramaduo.com.
Yeah, it's The Drama Duo everywhere. So
yeah.
And if you just Google Drama Chicago, we pop right up.
So we live in Chicago, so like you'll see us in the West Loop, in the South Loop.
Yeah.
Downtown. Well, actually not downtown, but everywhere else.
Not downtown.
It's too far for me.
I love that. And we're going to end with your guys' song, Feel the Same. So you guys tell us a little bit more about this track.
Man, this song is deep, honestly, but it is a love letter to one of my first boyfriends who thinks that we're gonna get married, and we're just not. So that's what the song is about. It's about him just constantly proposing, and I do love him. I love him very much. I will always love him, but it just doesn't feel the same.
Ooh, okay, there we go.
I like that. That's a great way to end it.
We'll end that.
I'm a professional.
It's Vocalo Radio.